Humanity is going through difficult moments like never before. We have lost our loved ones with a glimpse of an eye like never before. Our lives have been affected dramatically like never before. Our relationship with our Creator will never be the same like never before. Our priorities in life are dictated to us like never before. Our freedom is no longer in our hands like never before. And life will never be the same after these difficult moments. Join our live Ramadan show like never before with Hatim Al-Abdissalam and engineer Muhammad Farouk on Oman FM, your nation station, every Saturday till Thursday from 1 to 2 p.m. to discuss our lives like never before.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. All praise be to Allah, the Lord of the heavens and the earth, and peace and blessings be upon our beloved messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Dear brothers and sisters, welcome to your program Never Before. With me, Hatim Al-Abdissalam, and joining me is engineer Muhammad Farouk. Assalamu alaikum, Muhammad.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How are you today?
I'm doing great, alhamdulillah. What about you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm doing well.
Okay.
So, Muhammad, today we want to talk about something that is important during this pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And as you know, the pandemic is completing its second month.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
Yes.
Second, moving to the third month through the lockdown. And subhanallah, it was a challenging period and we had to think out of the box.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's why today we're talking about creativity and innovation and productivity.
Correct.
So what is creativity, Muhammad?
Well, it's an inspiration that can be found within us. It's a gift from our Creator, God Almighty. And, it can be different things as in spoken words, storytelling, calligraphy, architecture, or basically anything else. And creativity is the faculties and the skills to come up with something original and beneficial for ourselves, beneficial for humanity. And it could be something as simple as coming up with a new idea or a theory, or it could be a system or a methodology, and or it can be a solution to a problem. Now, it could be something purely original where you're starting from the beginning, or it could be that somebody has done some work or something is already available out there as a example, some kind of a product or a solution, and then you apply extreme kind of enhancement to it where you take everything to the next level.
And I think, Muhammad, what is important is that sometimes when we are in difficult moments or difficult times, then our functions, our brain functions start, thinking out of the box and finding solutions to problems.
Exactly.
And I always give examples of nations that are under sanctions, international sanctions, like Iraq and Iran and Gaza and Korea. They come up with a lot of creative ideas and they become self-sufficient.
Yeah.
They can help themselves. They don't need anyone else to provide them or supply them with food, equipment, and other stuff. So they do everything by themselves.
Exactly.
And I think now in Oman, we're going through the same phase where the import and export are
impacted
big time. There is no traveling, there is no trade. So we have to work out our issues and find out solutions to our problems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in terms of the countries, it's called self-sufficiency. And when it comes to a personal level, we call it life hacks.
Yes.
And We always have to be creative. However, in normal routine, most of the times, unfortunately, creativity takes a back seat. But we do have example from the life of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, where he took the first of all, he invited suggestion or ideas
Yes.
from his companions during tough time. And we have the example where Salman al-Farsi, may Allah be pleased with him, he suggested to dig a trench outside of Medina when the enemies were coming to destroy Islam and Muslims. And the Muslim had to come up with some kind of self-defense strategy. And for Arabs of that time, this was something new. Normally, they were used to going outside of cities and then, doing battles on the battlefield. So not only did he solicit ideas and suggestions from his well-wishers, but he actually selected one and then told them to implement it. So we have an example of creativity from the life of
And we
Prophet
have to
Muhammad.
acknowledge, Muhammad, that people see things in different perspective.
Mhm.
So I might be seeing something in one perspective, but maybe you have a different perspective.
Exactly.
And this is why it is important to get counsel
Mhm.
from different people, to get information, to get ideas,
Mhm.
and to share them as well.
Exactly.
So it's in on both ends, Muhammad. So
Mhm.
the people who are in charge, they should allow and listen to
Mhm.
young people who have ideas and who are very
Correct.
creative.
Yeah.
And at the same times, the young people who are creatives and have new ideas, they shouldn't keep them to themselves. They should approach these authorities and make sure that these ideas see the light one day.
I agree. See, the landscape has changed exponentially and it is changing. As an example, what used to be done by governments is now done by companies.
Yes.
And what used to be done by companies is now done by individuals. And collaboration is the key, where you hold competitions on the internet and you invite different universities from all over the world to take part, and then you reward the winners. And I'll give you the example of space program.
Hmm.
NASA dominated with near multi-billion-dollar budgets for decades. And then came SpaceX,
Yes.
brainchild of one individual. And they were able to leapfrog and exceed in some aspects compared to what an organization, government size entity used to do with a lean corporation. And then we move on to project like Gravity, where an individual, by experimenting and trial and error, he came up and now he's enhancing it, the idea of a human being flying solo, okay, with jetpacks. So there is all these were fruits of creativity, which leads towards innovation. Okay.
And if we look at every single aspect of our life today, Muhammad, it's built on creativity.
Mhm.
Our lives keep on changing every single day, and you see new gadgets, new items, new furniture, new equipment. They're all the fruits of this creativity
Mhm.
from a lot of people from around the world, and it's for the betterment of humankind.
Exactly. And see, some of the misconceptions which have kept a lot of people from getting on the bandwagon of creativity is the perception that, oh, creativity is only for the few. It's only for the super smarts.
Yes.
However, this myth needs to be busted. Creativity is embedded in all of us. But just like any other skill or any other tool in our life, we need to sharpen it. We need to feed it before we see the results. But if we have this mindset that, oh, I'm just not made creative, then obviously our mind will not look in the direction of creativity, and it won't happen. So for people out there who want to know how to be creative, we have to get open to new ideas. There are two kind of mindsets. One is the fixed mindset and one is the growth mindset. So we need to get out of the fixed mindset and get into the growth mindset before we start to play with creativity. And creativity itself starts with creative thinking.
Yes.
Okay. And when we get into this track, we will see that it will help us do a lot of problem solving. It'll help us to be more innovative, and a byproduct of that would be productivity, which comes with good habits that we will develop. And if we get to beef up our self-confidence, that's another added advantage. And on top of that, it'll give us a better understanding of the creation when we slow down and we look and we think, reflect and ponder. And it will also improve our relationship with our Creator.
Yes. Muhammad, there are a lot of challenges when it comes to creativity, especially implementing or researching or developing products, because it's not a very cheap process. It takes time, dedication, and funds. And most of the industries today, Muhammad, they think that creativity is a fantasy, and that we are only funding paper or just theories, and we don't see the end product. While the end product is a long process for it until it becomes a product in the market. But they need to believe in these ideas, because these ideas are the way forward to the future.
Exactly, because see, unfortunately, creativity has a lot of negative stigma attached to it. As an example, from I cannot be creative. It's only for the super smart. It's only for the few. And at the other side of the spectrum is, why do we need creativity? Do we really need to daydream? Okay, what if we get into creativity? What about the errors that will happen? What about the failures we'll have to encounter? Productivity will take a hit. Let other people do it, and we'll just follow it, or we'll just copy it. All these things, they play in the realm, and the result is that we as a nation in this day and age are not as creative as our predecessor.
I have a story to share, Muhammad. I have a friend who's from the GCC. He went and he had a creative idea, and he went to the body that is responsible for creativity in his country, and he told them about the idea, and that I want to do this. I want to make a prototype, and I want you to fund me, and so on. So the response that he got from them is that, you're not a degree holder, and you don't have even the right qualification to do this, so we're not interested. So he gathered his savings, and he got from his friends and family, and they supported him, and he did a prototype of this eco-friendly welding tool, and he joined the competition in Europe, and he won the second place worldwide, in this particular invention. So the message here is, you shouldn't look at the credentials of people and, judge them whether they are creative or not. Sometimes a farmer might be working in a farm, he's illiterate, and he can come up with a brilliant idea. If I give an example, Muhammad, look at the fallage system that we have
for irrigation.
For
the
irrigation,
water channels,
the water channels. They were originally Persian ideas, and look how they spread in the Arab world, and how they benefited the farmers and the farms and communities. So from a simple idea, from a simple man, can create huge impact. So we should not undermine the creativity.
Exactly. It can come from any corner, any time. Just look at the number of high school and college dropouts who went on to form amazing corporates which are multi-billion-dollar entities today, and they're multi-billionaires themselves.
Yes.
So and by the way, this has happened throughout history, where the creative people have been ridiculed or not taken seriously.
Yes.
And the bravo thing is that they didn't give up. They held on to their dreams despite the negativity which they received from the people around them. So again, we need to view creativity as something that is positive. It's not a waste of time. It doesn't harm logic. It will not kill productivity. And we see a number of things mentioned in our religion as well. For example, in Quran, in chapter 29, verse 20, it says, say travel through the earth and see how Allah did originate creation. So will Allah produce a later creation? For Allah has power over all things. So we are asked a lot to think and ponder about the creation around us and get inspired to the point where we take massive action and we do come up with creativity and betterment for the humanity.
Okay, Muhammad, we have our first guest for today's show, which is Miss Maha Muhammad Al Balushi, who is the Managing Director of Oman Technology Fund. Assalamu alaikum, Miss Maha.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah, Sheikh Hatim.
How are you today?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. How are you?
Fine, alhamdulillah. Ramadan Kareem.
Allahu akram. Ramadan Kareem ala al-jamii.
Miss Maha, you're the right person for today's show as we are talking about creativity and innovation. And you are the Managing Director of Oman Technology Fund. Tell us, Miss Maha, how is the fund doing during the pandemic?
Okay. First of all, Sheikh Hatim, let me give you a very quick brief on OTF
Yes.
for you and the audience, just for those who doesn't know much about OTF. OTF was launched in October 2016, Oman Technology Fund, with a mandate of investing in tech startups in 3 different stages: pre-seed, seed, and growth.
Yes.
Pre-seed is represented in the Takween program, seed in Wadi, and growth in Jasur. Now, each microfund has different ticket size. So it's 50K USD for Takween, and for Wadi, it's a range between 100K and 500K.
Yes.
And for Jasur, the growth fund, it's a range between 500K and 3 million.
Yes.
Now, back to your question on how we are performing during the pandemic. Actually, OTF is one of the most active funds in the MENA region throughout Q1, and most probably it would be for Q2, inshallah, as well.
Inshallah.
We have launched a new initiative to address the challenges and the consequences of COVID-19.
Yes.
We have allocated 1 million Omani riyal for Omanis to come up with ideas to address any sort of challenges caused by the virus. So what happens that people go to our Twitter account, they will find the initiative post there. They can click on the link and they can apply. We receive the application and we filter them, and then we select certain candidates. We bring them to pitch in front of an investment committee, and then we decide which ones to invest in.
Is there a particular criteria, Miss Maha, for the selection?
Well, the 2 main criteria I would say is that some sort of readiness for the product, because we don't have luxury of time.
Yes.
And of course, sustainability. It has to be something sustainable, not only during the pandemic period.
Yeah.
And most importantly, what we do for those ideas is that we give them the proper investment. So the investment would be a range between 100 and 500K USD, of course. And we give them the proper mentorship and guidance, and we link them with the right organization. So we try to, expedite and accelerate the process of getting them into the market.
Ms. Maha, so far, are there any success stories from our young creative minds in Oman?
Oh, many of them, Sheikh Hatim.
Mashallah.
Now, I need to say that some of our startups, we started our investment in 2017. And some of our startups luckily launched their products in this perfect timing, which addressed some crucial challenges for people. For example, Wareed, if you heard of Wareed.
Yes, we heard of Wareed, yes.
Yes. In this stage, Wareed is a medicine delivery website for people with chronic diseases. So they can, this is the first stage for Wareed. Wareed, inshallah, will be expanding into some other crucial services very soon.
Wonderful.
So we are addressing both people who, startups who have worked on their products and they are launching it now in the perfect time. And we are trying to enable other Omani, I wouldn't say youth because anyone can apply, other Omanis with bright ideas that they can, address any sort of challenge caused by the virus.
Ms. Maha, what is your advice to the young Omanis out there who might have a brilliant idea but they are hesitant to submit it because of maybe previous difficulties or challenges before the pandemic, and they didn't get maybe the enough support, so they're hesitant to come up with this idea? What is your advice to them?
Well, Sheikh Hatem, I keep on telling the potential startups, I would say, this is a golden opportunity. This is a golden era. All the support is there. I'm sure, Sheikh Hatem, if me and you had this, level of support when we started our career back then, definitely we'd have gone to do our own startup.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
We provide all level of support. We link them with organizations, and the beauty of this difficult time as well, people are collaborating really nicely. People from very high profile officials in the government, they are not hesitant to come even during the weekend to work with us and work with the startup, to enable them and make their products ready for the market. Organizations like global organizations like UNICEF are keen to come and work with us to support the Omani startups and enable them to apply their products in regional markets. So this is a golden opportunity. Please grab it. We are there to support the Omani startups. You just click on the link and apply, and inshallah we will take care of your idea.
And also, Ms. Maha, this is in line with the vision of His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq, supporting the innovation and creativity in the country.
Of course, Sheikh Hatem. This is the core objective of Oman Technology Fund. It's a golden opportunity. Just click on the link.
Inshallah.
Apply. And another note, Sheikh Hatem, we do have another program, Takween, which addresses the people in very early stages. So for the 1 million initiative, we wouldn't take people with raw ideas, I would say, but we can help them throughout another program called Takween, which is our pre-seed stage program. So it depends on the level of the idea, of the maturity of the idea.
Inshallah. Thank you very much, Ms. Maha Al-Balushi, for your insight, and I hope our listeners have grabbed the information you presented, and we are looking forward to see more innovative ideas in Oman, inshallah.
Inshallah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Maha. Shukran.
Thank you.
Wonderful. This was excellent information. I'm sure a lot of people who were not aware of that will know what to do and where to go in case if they do have any brilliant ideas and they need some coaching, they need some financial assistance, they need some networking where they can be connected with the right stakeholders. So this is a wonderful initiative, and we hope that more and more people, especially the youth, will benefit from this. So moving on to the list, I really like, she did mention collaboration, and it's getting big. So the whole global model is actually moving from competition to collaboration. And this is one of the catalysts towards being creative and being innovative. So if we are curious and we reflect and we take some time out of our life to go on like what they call executive retreats.
Yes.
And we put ourselves in other people's shoes and see what kind of problems they're having. And then when we come up with solutions to those problems, that is what's called entrepreneurship. And when the execution takes place, one of the byproducts is you make money. So you get into the business not just to make money, but making money is a byproduct. The core theme or the reason for getting into a business is to solve problem, and that problem should be something that applies to the masses out there.
I loved what she said, Muhammad, when it comes to opportunities.
Mhm.
When we were growing up, Muhammad, we didn't have these golden opportunities. And today, Alhamdulillah, under the supervision of His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq
Mhm.
and also the Oman Technology Fund,
Mhm.
the platform is there.
Mhm.
You know, the funds are there, the support is there, the experts are there.
Mhm.
So people need to be proactive and move forward and come up with their
Exactly.
ideas. And you never know, maybe your idea might save people's life, might, you know, change the quality of living
Make
in your
environment
country.
better.
Yeah, especially in these, difficult moments, we need creativity.
Mhm. And the other thing is, it's okay to see how others are doing it, not necessarily what they're doing, because a lot of people feel that I have to be 100% original and not copy someone, which is
Yes.
fine. We understand that. However, just think about it. We learn everything else from our teachers and mentors, right?
Yes.
We're not born with 100% complete knowledge. And same applies when it comes to creativity. So, as an example, when we talk about this Oman Technology Fund, it's not just submission of ideas, it's connecting it with the right people. And funding is just one aspect. So, of course, they'll be mentoring and guiding you as well. So, to make sure that your business model is viable and it won't collapse, because a lot of the SMEs, they do tend to collapse because they don't have the proper information, they don't have the proper resources, and they don't have the proper mentors to guide them.
Yes. And Muhammad, life moves on, and
Mhm.
every day there is changes, new changes.
Mhm.
And sometimes you feel sad, you know, seeing the changes and the development coming from abroad, you know,
Mhm.
from other minds, while we have a fertile land for minds and ideas, and we're not really taking advantage of it.
Exactly.
So,
See, we need to provide them end-to-end framework in terms of, for example, and what I've seen is, talking to different people here, one of their biggest concern is, okay, I have this idea, but I'm not going to share it with anyone else. So we need to get them into confidence that, okay, if you have a proper idea or a product or a solution, what we can offer you is not just the mentoring and the funding and the networking opportunity, but we will also offer you IP, which is intellectual property.
yes.
So, as an example, whether a patent needs to be filed or you need to get copyrights to protect what you have. All right. So, that's a big part of it. That's the legal aspect of it. And this is something we don't see getting addressed much. And that's one of the reasons that people in this part of the world, they don't innovate much. The same boys and girls, when they go to other platforms, which are a bit more matured, you see amazing inventions coming out in medicine, in basically all other disciplines. So that's one part of it that needs to be addressed as well.
Yeah, and the idea, Muhammad, is, you know, you don't want all these good ideas to travel abroad,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and thrive somewhere else. You know, these are the treasures of Oman,
Mm-hmm.
and we want these minds and ideas to prosper here in Oman.
We need to reverse the brain drain, and for that there should be at least minimum infrastructure, and that's why I really commend OTF's efforts in this direction. And in terms of the coaching or mentoring part, this needs to be cascaded down to the masses, that they need to get over the fear of failure.
Mm.
Okay, limited experimentation and trial and error will always take place, and the environments in which these incubations are being nurtured, they also need to understand, but that they will make mistakes, and there will be some financial setbacks, and timelines will be disturbed. But this doesn't mean that they need to be reprimanded and taken to task. This will create productivity. This will kill productivity, and it will also set a bad example for others who are in the line trying to do the same thing.
Yes, definitely.
In terms of the people out there, once they do get selected or they are on board, our request to them is, give it your best. Don't make it a half-hearted effort that, okay, they're providing me an office and I'm getting funding from here, so I'll try. If it works, if it works. If it doesn't, so what? That's not it. I mean, be honest to yourself and deliver the best that you can.
And I think, Muhammad, it's not enough only to brag about our history and our glory and the golden days of the Muslims,
yeah.
the inventions.
That's
we
what
have
we do when we sit
have
together.
yeah, we have the chance now, to do the same thing, to have the same results, to have the same achievement.
Yeah.
There is no point. Nobody is interested about your past, what your ancestors did. People are interested about you, about what you are able to do now.
What value you're adding towards humanity. And think about it, we've been blessed with the internet,
Yes.
and that's the grand equalizer. So you can actually leapfrog and deliver something that, as an example, in the past, multi-million-dollar company used to do. So if few friends get together, they can also compete with the big boys, so to speak.
Yes.
So we have a special guest, a caller.
Yes.
I'd like to introduce him briefly. He's unique in the world of creativity and innovation. His name is Peter Gold, and he's a celebrated designer and creative entrepreneur. His innovative, award-winning work is highly sought globally. It has touched millions of people in a positive and inspirational way. He has won several awards, launched his own apps and games. He's a one-man army.
MashaAllah.
He's created popular online platform. He teaches workshops internationally. He's published a lot of books, and he's traveled extensively in the Middle East, where he fell in love with old cities like Fez, Damascus, Istanbul, and Medina. And he's both spiritually inspired as well as emotionally inspired towards innovation. And some of his projects, they include islamimagine.com and creativeummah.com. So let's see what Peter has to add to our listeners' lives.
Assalamu alaikum. Great to be with all of you.
Wa alaikum
Thanks so
assalam.
much for the generous invitation. Great to be on the show, and hope everyone's having a blessed and beautiful Ramadan. When we talk about innovation, design, creativity, these are three things dear to my heart and my design team. So I've been designing professionally for around 20 years. I have a team of 12 designers, and we really try to think of those through a spiritual lens. What I mean by that is, how does our faith inspire or inform or guide our design decisions, the kind of clients and projects we do, the kind of change we want to make in the world, and of course our intentions for doing those things. I think there's a wonderful and beautiful opportunity for Muslims and people of faith to really embrace this design mindset and embrace entrepreneurship, embrace innovation, and think of these as ways that can be, incredibly powerful when combined with spiritual aspirations and intention. So, for example, one of the companies that we work for regularly, we're close design partners for, is called LaunchGood. And LaunchGood, they're based in the US, but they have over 500,000 users and just reached raising over $100 million globally as a crowdfunding platform,
MashaAllah.
serving important causes and ideas around the world. And what's wonderful about this, especially we have a unique kind of experience through that as a design partner, is seeing how design can really be made as this incredible tool of service. Design as a tool for service, and thinking about design, what is at the heart of design. And I think at the heart of design, like all good deeds, is ikhlas, is intention and sincerity. So I have this program called The Heart of Design. Design is a spiritual practice, is a course that I run. And we explore these kind of intersections between entrepreneurship, creativity, innovation, design, and spiritual path. So I'd love to welcome anyone to join our conversation and come along with that. If you'd like to, you can come onto any of our platforms or online to join. I'd love to hear from any of you. Anyway, just hope that was some interesting reflections and maybe inspire some ideas, and don't discount your creativity. I think that's something also to consider, that every one of you, everyone listening, has been blessed with imagination, with creativity. Creativity isn't just drawing in a book and drawing and making beautiful pictures. Creativity is how you approach a problem. Creativity is how you use your imagination to make some little improvement or some change. And thinking of design as change, design is actually a way of change rather than just something visual. Design is at the heart of trying to improve things and trying to just trying to make whatever issues you're most concerned or most passionate about just that little bit better for people, or maybe a lot better, inshallah. So
Inshallah.
anyway, I hope that's helpful. It's great to share some thoughts. Love to connect with any of you. You can reach out to me, Peter Gould, online, or I'm sure you can share some links in the show. Anyway, have a beautiful day, and hope it's a wonderful road through Ramadan for all of you. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, and thank you very much to Brother Peter Gould for sharing his valuable insights. His website is peter-gould.com. That's peter-gould.com.
I'm very much touched, Muhammad, by the idea of spirituality and creativity.
Exactly.
Yeah, it shouldn't be
One or the other.
Yeah, it shouldn't be on the secular side. It should be that it has to be with a purpose, and the purpose is to serve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and serve humanity. And every good deed in this world is accountable by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you'll find the reward on the day of judgment. So if you are creative, you're doing something that you like, something that is beneficial and is going to help other people, then do what you like. At the same time, you're getting the reward for it. So it's a double reward.
Exactly. What I like, of course, he shared a lot of amazing points. But one of the things was sincerity. Unfortunately, a lot of us, especially the youth, they start the conversation with what will make me the most money.
Yes.
Okay. What we need to see is what is our inner call. What is it that we want to do? What is it that we think we'll be good at? Because if we're following our passion, when we hit challenges, we will not quit.
Yes.
Okay. We will survive and we'll weather the storm. And if we are creative in a certain field, and we will keep on coming up with solutions to multiple problems. It won't be that you will be creative one time and then you'll just sit and consume the rewards of that creativity. So money will follow, but
Yes.
the most important thing is you find out what your passion is.
I think there's nothing wrong thinking about the financial side, but it shouldn't be the core.
Yeah, it shouldn't be
It
the
sh-
primary motivation.
It shouldn't be the motive for you to go and do more ideas and try. And even when you make it, even when you get your idea out there in the market, it shouldn't stop you from thinking even further and getting even more ideas and developing it more.
Exactly.
So you will not reach to an extent you are content and you have enough funds. You don't want to innovate more
Exactly.
ideas.
Exactly. And think about it. When you follow your passion, let's say maybe you have one passion or two or three passions, right? But you'll stick with them
Yes.
through tough times and through times of ease. But if you start following money, anything can make you money.
Yes.
So today you might say, I want to be a fisherman. There's a lot of money. And then you get into it and you find out that it's a struggle and there are challenges and there are things you don't like it. Then you'll switch channels and you'll say, you know what? I'm going to be something else. There's money in it. Somebody told me there's money in it.
Yes.
So you'll keep on hopping, chasing the next shiny object, and that's going to kill your time. And you'll be jack of all trades, but master of none.
So you
have to
won't
be-
have focus in one area.
Exactly. So in order to achieve vertical growth and expertise, you got to stick with one thing. And that should be your passion.
Definitely. Muhammad, it's good that we're getting insight from ideas locally, and also we're getting ideas internationally. And sharing these platforms like the one our last guest has mentioned is very important. That the entire world is working towards that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you think that you are in your environment where you don't get enough support, there is no a dead end for your visions and dreams.
Exactly. You can get
Don't
support
take no
globally.
for an answer.
Exactly.
You can go anywhere. There is a lot of platforms that
Exactly.
are accepting
Yeah.
these creative ideas.
Exactly.
But again, let us not forget that we have platforms here in Oman. We have the funds. We have the support from His Majesty until the last person in this industry.
Wonderful.
So there is no excuse for you not to be creative. There is no excuse for you to walk away and go somewhere else
Exactly.
to make your ideas come into reality.
Right. And for those of us who have not been not been very creative in the past, we need to do a self-analysis. What has been holding us back? Is it that we never got any support from our family and our loved ones, or we never made any time out to just sit and relax and think of the different problems and what could be the potential solutions for that? Or has it been that we have not been exposed to brainstorming sessions on a peer-to-peer level, or we have just been consumers and not contributors? So anything that comes up, we just buy it, we use it, and then we look forward to the next thing. Have we been glued to screens as opposed to having some good old quality paper and pen time
Yes.
to jot down our ideas? So these are some of the things that we need to look at. Another important aspect when you do want to be creative is to get close to nature.
Yes.
And if we look at the old Islamic architecture, whether they were homes or they were mosques, a lot of them used to have gardens and running water in them. And then the gardens were pushed out and then pushed away, and now we are living in concrete jungles. So all these things matter. So we need to see what are the points where we are suffering the most, and then take steps to change our situation.
Yes, and Muhammad, most of the time people are against change or fear change. And when someone comes up with an idea, you would automatically see that maybe your family members, they don't support you, they don't agree, the community, the industry and so on. But when you start believing in your idea, then you will force others to believe in your ideas
Yeah,
as well.
exactly.
But if you give up in the first obstacle that you find or you come across, then that's the rest in peace of your idea.
Exactly. And the other thing is, you see, to be creative, you have to be stubborn to a certain extent. We often hear that when people, they try to sell their ideas and they keep on getting rejections, one after another, they tend to go out and start their own companies. And these rejections, they turn out to be a blessing in disguise for them.
Yes.
So my message to people out there who've been carrying these ideas in their hearts, and they don't have proper advice how to execute them, they haven't found the right platforms, what I'm saying is, start now. Don't wait. Don't wait for tomorrow. Don't wait for 6 months. Don't wait for a year. Don't wait that first I will get a team and I'll get money and then I'll do it. But go ahead and start working on your idea today. And see, in terms of the framework of creativity,
Yes.
like you said, people don't like change. Your family might tell you, what are you doing? It might be illegal. It might be against the teachings of Islam. Why are you trying to do this thing? Don't break it. Don't fix it if it's not broken. Why are you rocking the boat? Just go with the flow.
And that was the case in the past also, Muhammad, when scientists are trying to prove that the earth is spherical, so and many other examples are out there.
Yeah, one of them is the printing press, how
Yes.
it was opposed and how it was banned, and people were punished who were trying to use them, not people, Muslims at that time, Muslim people. So what we're saying is that I want all stakeholders to redefine their relationship with creativity and innovation and productivity, productivity being doing more with less. So they need to get comfortable with these terminologies. They need to understand these terminologies. For example, there should be sincerity when it comes to doing stuff. We've already covered that.
Now, Muhammad, we have our next guest on the show, who is Dr. Umar bin Saeed Al-Abri, who is the program the programs department director at the Research Council. Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Umar.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, Hassan.
How are you today?
I'm fine, doing well. What about you?
Fine, alhamdulillah. Ramadan Kareem.
You too, same, inshallah.
It's nice to have you on the show, Dr. Umar.
Same to me, same on this side. Thank you for having me. It's a great pleasure to be with you and to get connected with the esteemed audience through your channel.
Alhamdulillah. Dr. Umar, as you know, we're going through difficult moments of the pandemic, and today we're talking about creativity and innovation. We wanted to ask you, Dr. Umar, the role of the Research Council in terms of ideas, creativity, coming up with solutions in the current situation.
Yes, great. So indeed, the Research Council is the government arm, which is really mandated to really foster the innovation and research into the country. But
yes.
Before we just getting into before the TRC is trying to capitalize or to build within the country, you just give me a chance to maybe quickly shed some light on what's happening on research, development, and innovation space.
Inshallah.
So I think what we are really witnessing and undergoing through these days is really a profound change and a transition, and we are really witnessing and innovative solutions that's really shaping the way we are living. As we all know, that we are used to go to the store to pick up what we need, and we bring it back home, and also ordering meals from restaurants and go and pick it up. And also, more importantly, we used to go every morning to the work to do the task, as also the task cannot be done except from the office. But
yes.
Now the whole thing is going to change. The whole equation has changed, and all the focus is centered around innovative and in-home services or solutions. And I think the role that research and innovation is playing is really incredible. And I think the whole life now is getting really disrupted in different ways. So indeed, the life is changing, and things I don't think will never be back like before.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just talk or go back to your question about the role where the TRC is really trying to play or has been set to play within the ecosystem in the country.
Yes.
As I said, TRC is the government arm that's really mandated to really foster and cater all the support that needed to really bring innovation and uplift the local capability and capacity in terms of innovation, etc. So from day one, since the TRC has been established in 2005, the main focus, it was initially centered around building the capacity and bridging the gap, which was mainly centered around building the capability and the capacity, which is, I would really say with a proud today, and while we are witnessing all the effort that's really going on, that such long-term investment that is the government has put in by investing into the building the capacity, that the young mind is really start to pay back, and we really start to see some return on that investment. Where nowadays we see young minds, generations that are able to think, and also not only to think but also to act, try to provide solutions. I see generation that really try to or accept challenges and try to strive to find solutions for them. So we really start to see the investment that TRC start to put initially by establishing different programs to allow researchers, innovators across the different ages, starting from the young innovations programs at the schools all the way to the students in the first academic level, all the way to the graduation. So it is really it starts to pay back, and there are different programs that TRC has set from the early days to really enable people and empower them to do. But there are also some other activities that TRC has really established recently to really cope with the current requirement in terms of the pandemic that we are living with. So we have got recently a program, commissioned research program, that's really focused specifically on the COVID-19, where we have announced a call for proposals for researchers who are having ideas from both clinical and non-clinical, who are interested to submit proposals with innovative ideas to come up with a solution that address the COVID-19. And it has got really a good acceptance, where we have received and recently announced the last week that we have got around more than 440 pre-proposals or initial proposals that is with solution that try to address the COVID-19 pandemic from different aspects, both clinical, stuff related to the logistics, supply chain, plenty of opportunities.
So there is a blessing, Dr. Umar, out of this calamity, that people are becoming creative, coming up with solutions, not just sitting idle waiting for someone to help us, but we are getting our own ideas out there so that we can help ourselves.
Indeed. We are really blessed, actually. As I said, we are in Oman. We are really blessed with the people who are really willing to really think and act. And as we said, this is really, I believe, the golden opportunity or a golden chance for those researchers and innovators and entrepreneurs who are really keen to make some changes. And today we are here in Oman that we are blessed with a huge support. We have the political will and support that we need. We have all the financial support, and also the public-private partnership that we are seeing nowadays, where all the companies from the industries are also partnering and supporting the government efforts into trying to find solutions. So it is really what we really see today is really happening, and it's really. We are really blessed to really witness this moment here in Oman.
Dr. Umar, the vision of His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq to support innovation and creativity in the country, how did that add to the activities of the Research Council?
No, indeed. You see, we in the Research Council and the research and development sector in Oman, we are really blessed. We blessed before with the vision and with the establishment of the Research Council, which is came through the election of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos before, and recently with the speech and the support that is His Majesty Sultan Haytham has showed, and the support that is really going to be catered to really make sure that the research and development and innovation to really play a major role in the coming time in really achieving the aspiration of the country. We are really talking about developing a knowledge-based economy, and here really the research and development and innovation, it really plays a major role, where we can really transfer the knowledge back into monetary value. We will be able to develop solutions, etc. So such things is really, and the speech and the support that we are really getting from His Majesty Sultan Haytham is really a great support to really support the research activities and the development activities here in the country. And we are really keen to see forward some in-house developed solutions to really address the COVID-19 and really or beyond the COVID-19, because this is just we are hoping to be the start where we really see in-house developed solutions. We have witnessed over the past few weeks innovators and entrepreneurs start to really develop in-house solutions using cutting-edge technologies like the 3D printing, smart applications, things that can be used for tracking quarantine people, collecting data,
yes,
etc. So there are really quite interesting things we are witnessing, and we are really hoping to see these things really further flourish and nurture in the future.
Finally, Dr. Umar, are there any challenges when it comes to creativity and innovation industry?
And you see, indeed, anything that's really to come up with something new, there will be always challenges on the way. one of the main things is that we really can maybe highlight in terms of challenges is the really is the close collaboration or the communication, the seamless communication between the three parties, between the government, the community who's doing the research, the researchers themselves, and ultimately the business domain, which will be deemed ultimately the deployment party for these technologies. So such seamless communication is very important, where we'll be able to focus the efforts of our researchers to address the needs that the government is demanding or the business sector is looking for. So such seamless communication is really very important. What we really also is looking for is the belief, because as I said, research and innovation is not something like a short-term investment where you'll be putting our money today and tomorrow you will be getting. There are some cases which definitely this will be achieved, but innovation and research is a long-term investment where you will be able need to put money, build capacity, build capability, especially in a young country, I would say, like Oman. In Oman, we are still a young country, not like compared to other countries, which is has gone very far into this domain.
Mhm.
But we are able, alhamdulillah, to achieve good outcomes with the political and the will support that we are getting from the government. So definitely, as I said, the partnership has to be there. The belief that's very important has to be there. The financial support also has to be catered and to really be able to get things achieved.
Your final message, Dr. Umar, to all the young, innovative minds out there, inshallah.
I would really like just to encourage them to really to best utilize these opportunities to really help the nation and help the country and pay back at least some of the things that the country has really helped in building onto them. As we know, the biggest asset that we do have in Oman is the young mind that we do have. So what I would really encourage them is to really capitalize. I would really like to encourage them to perform, but to perform with a purpose, to be really have a purpose in doing the activities. Also, I would like them to encourage them to think creatively and to work as a team. Definitely, the joint force and the teamwork is really very important in such time where we need to really join the forces to be able to achieve and leverage the outcome. Also, very important that I would like to really emphasize over here is about the knowledge sharing. It's very important that the young minds, that as we have seen or have witnessed during this pandemic, that business is one thing, but one thing that comes to the human life, many things has been really enabled and has been provided as an open source. So knowledge sharing is also a very important thing that we have to really keep it in mind and to keep developing on that. So these are the main things that I would like to really emphasize as the values that we have attained from this pandemic, that I would like to really the young generation to really keep it in mind and to work further on them.
Thank you very much, Dr. Umar bin Saeed Al-Abri from the Research Council for your time and your advices, and I hope to hear from you soon, inshallah, Doctor.
Mhm.
Thank you very much, Hassan. Thank you very much. And it was really a great pleasure to be with you. And I would like to take the moment to raise the hands to Almighty Allah in this holy month to save Oman, the
Ameen.
people of Oman, and the leader of Oman, inshallah.
Ameen.
And the
Ameen.
final message is that I would like to also encourage people to comply with social distancing, to stay at home, to stay safe, and to stop the spread and to save the life, inshallah.
Inshallah. Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much,
Doctor.
Doctor. Shukran.
Thank you,
Assalam.
Hassan. Thank you very much.
Wonderful insights. Really amazing.
Yes, I think we had a very good blend of guests today, Mohammed. We had locally and internationally as well, and we covered most of the aspects when it comes to creativity.
From individual to the government
Yes,
level. Yeah.
yes.
Well, final thought from my side would be I want all the listeners to visit this amazing website. Doesn't matter if they are, Muslims or not yet Muslims. It's 1001inventions.com. That's www.1001inventions.com. It's an amazing website. I'm sure it will inspire you to take massive action and contribute and benefit humanity. And also, I want to add one more thing, that all our shows are uploaded daily on YouTube. And the way to get to them is go to Facebook, and our page is Life as It Is. All the links are given over there.
My final note for today is the richest land on earth is the graveyard, because it has a lot of ideas, a lot of creativity that did not see the light. So don't let your idea die with you in the grave. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.